Today, ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, we're going to be breaking down the $114,000 dividend portfolio. I've been away for so long neglecting you guys. I'm going to take all the stuff I should be putting into other videos and I'm jamming it into this one just for you, hoping for some home runs here. So let's jump right into this. Welcome back, passive income investors alike. Oh my goodness, it has been quite a crazy season right here for me, guys. These last few days have been unbelievable marathon running, tiredness, no sleep, because I was down in San Diego for Stock Twits. I did a massive show because I'm a full-time magician. I had a wedding the day after all of this, and I'm finally getting some time to catch up with you guys, which I needed to actually get back into this YouTube channel that I've missed so bloody much. So slap a like if you guys enjoy me doing everything I can just for you. So instead of making a bunch of different videos, like I said, I'm going to be jamming a lot into this one video as we try and break down my six-figure dividend portfolio. But before we head over and take a look at that, because trust me, I'm doing a lot of management changes. I'm turning off my drips. I'm going to be selling some of my positions to buy other positions, looking for them home runs, baby, which I see coming. But we're going to talk about predicting the future. And the first thing I want to touch base on, guys, here, hopefully don't bore you with this, but if you're a Canadian watcher, I'm sure you've heard me biatch about the Canadian real estate here and why I think we're on a looming correction or a crash. And I feel like I'm so early to this game because I talked about it in this video that's pretty much going viral because it ranked so well, where I talked about the verge of collapse. And I got some crazy attention, a lot of haters though on top of that. But I've come to the conclusion that holy crap, people are finally starting to listen up. I went on Facebook and I saw all these article posts of people talking about the same thing, that we might be seeing a correction as the government comes out with first-time home buyer programs to basically cover most of the down payment for you, interest-free, mind you, to pay back in 25 years. I'm not going to get into that. You can just watch the video. And if you also, before I move on too fast here, if you want to check out the video for me performing in Stock Twits, I'll leave that in the link in the description below. That was the last video that I posted, though, yesterday, so you can check that out freely as well. But I want to tell you basically the indicator that I think is going to bring the entire, well, not bring the market down, but will be the indicator of the correction that I do foresee coming very soon, as many people talk about this in the US as well. But in Ontario specifically, it has been the condo market that has been driving up the entire housing market. My dad is involved in concrete. Basically, a lot of residential builders have been cutting off a lot of their current contracts, and they've been slowing down and building residential homes as we see a flattening. And basically family homes, they're not really going up in value and they're slowly starting to peter down. But condo market is up 14% this year, guys, because people like me that can't afford them rent them, and the people that don't live here that have all the money, because it ain't me and you raising the housing market here, all them people overseas that have been able to funnel money into this country I think are going to start to see that things are just way overvalued. The day, I swear to you, the day people stop funneling money into this country to buy condos, and all of a sudden people realize condos are too expensive, when that market starts coming down, the entire housing market's coming with it, because I think that's what's been propping up real estate here. So keep an eye out for those indicators, guys, if you do live in Canada here. And I guarantee in the next year, I think we're going to see some really interesting stuff happen in the real estate market because, like I said, things are out of control, guys. It doesn't make any sense. The cannabis industry is something I want to talk about and update you guys on really quick. I've talked about the cannabis purge. This video is going to be very depressing. Everything's crashing. Everything looks like it's going to be crashing, including the cannabis industry, which we're seeing now. We're seeing 30% plus corrections in a lot of these companies. And the companies I'm going to ask you to pay most attention to if you're interested in this market is Aurora Cannabis and Afria. Those companies have got the cost of gram per basically marijuana, the cost per gram down to like $1, $2, even $3. But even if you go on the websites, they're still charging way too much for them. In my personal opinion, the black market's still exploding. I always have this angel and devil on my shoulder saying, you should post these videos. No, don't post these videos. They're going to be bad for you. You're going to want to post and people are going to love them. Blah, blah. Sorry, I'm having that weird debate in my head because I always feel like YouTube is going to ding my channel for talking about cannabis. So I always end up removing the videos because I don't want it to hinder my channel when I start getting to 1,000 subs and I'm able to live stream and I'm able to start monetizing to try and do everything I can for you guys. So I'm really trying to just keep that a little clean right now until things get figured out. But what I think is going to happen, guys, is we're going to see the entire marijuana market continue to peter off. We're seeing edibles and vapes come out in a month or two, so we might see that push the market up. But I'm going to tell you, until the government loosens up the laws and the legislation to allow people to sell basically anywhere, like like start opening stores down the road or just anywhere someone can open a store, we're not going to see anything huge happen in that industry here. And the fact of the matter is, guys, if you added up all the market caps of these companies, and these are just the public companies, there are hundreds of non-public companies growing marijuana. If you add those market caps up, guys, it's just way too large to represent how much I think they're actually worth. So prepare to watch the purge continue, I think, guys. These companies are going to keep coming down until we start seeing some real numbers. As soon as we see a company with positive book numbers, I ain't buying anything. So I'm just keeping it on the side for that, guys. Now, to finish up, before I head over to my portfolio, guys, the last thing I want to talk about is websites, empire flippers, something I talk about a lot. Now that I'm quitting DJing, putting some stuff aside to make time specifically for you guys, I'm looking at basically producing cash or income producing websites. There's a lot of different ways to go about this, and the one that I've talked about a lot here is empire flippers. And I'm not going to go on too long about this, but essentially what I would like to do, maybe at some point if it does happen, might not, is buy basically an online business. And I've been talking to enough people about it now that I actually have the access to about $75,000 in capital. I would be funding about personally, out of pocket, maybe $20,000 to $30,000 of the deal. I would be using a $20,000 line of credit, and then I also have about access to $25,000 US, give or take, from somebody that wants to partner with me on buying one of these websites. I'm a little ways out from that happening as I start taking some courses to educate myself, but I'm also going to be making some courses for you guys, and I really want to focus mainly on this YouTube channel, growing it. I want to start making a course to teach Canadian investors how to basically start investing in the stock market and what it takes to basically grow a passive income portfolio, because a lot of you have asked me a ton of questions as there's just not enough information on Google on how to do any of this. On top of that, guys, I have so much website stuff that I want to go over, but I'm going to save it for a separate video. But that is where most of my focus is going to be heading for the next 3 months. In fact, I'm going out today to buy a laptop because I can't keep just working from home. I actually need to be portable at this point. So I'm going to go pick up a laptop, which has really been hard to invest and add money to my stock portfolio because, I mean, I've been so slamming trying to get my name out there and doing all this different stuff. I've been really expending more than I've ever wanted to because I haven't been able to fund my portfolio as much as I'd like, which is why I've been trying to get the dividends up so much, as we said, at $5,514 from buying MO, which I didn't post because basically the US conversion thing took some time. Actually, you know what? Let's just go over my portfolio. It'd be easier to explain this at my computer instead of standing here blankly looking at you guys. So come on over. Let's take a look at the portfolio, shall we?
Oh, bud, lots of news to go over right now, guys. So let's jump into the tax-free savings account to start, of course. Before I get too much into anything, like I said, I'm turning the drips off. A lot of you guys seem to like the reinvestment drips, but because I'm extremely happy with the size of these positions in this portfolio or this part of my portfolio, I really just want to start collecting the cash income and using it to either invest elsewhere or put it back into some new stocks and just start growing some new positions, because all of these are pretty much where I want them to be. Capital-wise, I don't think I need to add too much more. I filled out most of my positions here, especially with Apple. Microsoft's done. Southern Company's one I wouldn't mind adding to, but at these levels, I'm pretty happy with where it's at. So I'm just going to let it sit and ride. GEO Group's the only one that I still think could use some more capital, but in the meantime, I'm just going to leave the drip set up and let it buy its own shares as it continues to get beaten into the ground. I think there'll be some extreme volatility in this guy for the next year or two, at least until the election cycle is over. But honestly, I still love holding it. Overall, though, guys, this account has done very well. The dividends are up in this account because, like I said, I sold some CM. I used that capital to buy MO. I had to do the currency conversion change on that guy. It took a couple extra days, which I wasn't expecting, but there's not much you can do about it. And let's just look at the other account here as well, guys. So this is the managed account that I have a lot to do with right now. What I'm going to do in the short term here, guys, because I keep doing this all the time, keep talking about this, and I'm sorry if I'm boring you guys, but I just can't get over what is going on with MO right now. So I'm thinking about taking the $1,000 I have sitting in MMM. I'm going to keep some positions in it because I do hold MMM in my RBC. I was going to say RSP or something. My RBC account. This position was one you guys recommended me buying, and I'm still going to hold on to it as it seems to be doing fairly okay as it sits here. It's not like the largest position in my account, of course, but just because I see much better value in MO right now, I'm going to sell this off and put some more money into MO just to probably finish off my position with it. I just can't get over the news right now. If you look at the actual statistics, and I'm not going to get into this again just because I could go on about this stupid stuff for days, but a lot of the news that has been pressuring this company hasn't changed its balance sheet that much, and I think a lot of people are over worried because there's been like something like 500 or 800 illnesses caused by some form of vaping, but it's estimated, this nobody really knows, the FDA is doing an investigation right now, but they're saying that 76% of these cases of people that were vaping all said that they were using cannabis related products. And then I think there was something like 16% saying that they only use nicotine products. And then there was like another, whatever that last percentage was, were people that were using a combination of like both. And it's just, there's so much weird stuff going on, especially, with China, like they were shipping in fentanyl. China likes ripping everything off and selling us shit products, and they don't seem to care if we die. And a lot of people have been recommending, and even these articles now, if you read them, not just the headlines, are saying just don't buy any vape stuff on the black market. It's become quite a common conclusion in most of the articles that it's basically been black market products that are causing this. And like I said, fake news, it's not that it's fake news. Obviously, there's some validity to it. But for a company like this, guys, I think it could be a home run. I think just a company that pays out the yields it pays, the fact that it can afford them, the fact that there's pressure going on right now. They are not partnering or merging with Philip Morris. That news has been killed off as Philip Morris wants to compete separately. And I honestly think this is better news for the company. I think it would have been fun for them to merge, just to see the largest company, like it would literally be one of the largest mergers in stock market history. But I don't know if that news with the vaping stuff is what's pressured it or what caused them to not want to go through with any of it. But at the same time, for them as individual companies, I still think you're going to get a lot of growth out of MO with what's going on. I think this news is driving a lot of attention to these companies, which I think in the long run is going to do better than it is going to do worse. So I think I'm going to sell off my MMN today, or in this account specifically, to finish up putting more in MO, which I'll get more into in a sec. Starbucks, oh my goodness, we're finally seeing some actual good valuation. I don't have enough in this position to make a difference. I might use some of this money to put into my RSP. There's a lot of managing that's going to go on. I'm not going to break any more of that down because I have to come up to my own conclusions here and start making some decisions as this portfolio sits down 10%. But in the meantime, guys, I'm really happy holding what's in here right now. Really happy with these positions. I just want to get a little bit more MO to bring up the dividend and also give me some credible equity exposure. This company's down 50%. So, I mean, it's pretty great that way as well. And then finally, finishing up with the RSP, guys, I'm going to start funneling probably a bit more money in here sooner or later to continue buying the indexes. Because if real estate does come into a massive correction and the government's still willing to offer these share buyback programs, where they're basically offering capital for free to be a part owner in a piece of real estate where I could just start renting it out and basically make that rental income without having to pay the government, I think would be an incredible opportunity if that day ever comes. So I always want to leave some money in here just in case we see a good correction in real estate, so I can go out and actually buy something that might be worth buying. But other than that, guys, there's not too much to update. There will be some big management changes in here because I have to figure out what I'm doing with this money for taxes I talk about all the time, and I'm either going to defer it into the RSP or basically sell some of these positions off to start buying websites. And I'm not going to use all of it, obviously. I'm going to keep my Tesla shares in some of my positions. I'm not going to leverage out all of this, but if I use this money to buy a website, I'll save myself from paying the government $6,000 to $10,000 in taxes, and then I'll own a cash income producing business right off the hop the second I buy it. But the only businesses I'll have access to are basically these $50,000 range companies, so I don't have a lot of access. But you guys can always let me know what you think in the comment section below. There's a lot of stuff to jam into this video, so I'm not going to make it any longer. Just a really quick update. Don't worry, very soon I'm going to do individual videos and further updates on my positions, guys. But it'll be neat to see what happens over the next week. Glad to be back. Stay cool. Stay awesome. I look forward to chatting to you guys real soon.